It is.
I should look at that. I should look at this.
We live, baby.
Let me check and see.
I think so.
The green thing to move on this one. That's what it is.
I don't know. I don't see it moving though. We good though.
All right, so just working. Okay. All right. Shalom. All right. First and foremost, all praises, honor, glory to
Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakabadash.
Double honors to the apostles. And salutations, you brothers, doing this thing in sincerity and truth and with charity. All right, this is going to be another episode of Spirit Like the Wind. All right, and basically, as you see in the title, we're going to get into being servants, man. And we're calling this thing to be servants. One way or another, we're going to serve. All right, we serve one another, right? We can get somebody grab Galatians 4:1 for me, Brother Prashad.
Yeah.
And this is Luke. I'm not. He got. I fucked up.
I got to go to one.
Okay. I know what happened. As this little child, the same is great as in the kingdom of heaven. All right, like it says, we become children. We come into this truth, man. Our newborn babes. All right, what Yahweh Shai tell the I can't think of his name. It's the doctor of the law. We're going to be born again. Nicodemus, the water. All right, so you become a child all over. So what does that mean? Hey, you become a servant, man. You got that humble spirit on you, man. And you can hit that Galatians 4.
Yes, sir. This is Galatians chapter 4:1. Now I say that the heir, as long as he is a child, differeth nothing from a servant.
Okay, what are we supposed to be? All right, if we are the elect, all right, we're hopefully the heirs, joint heirs of Yahweh Shai. So as a child, it says, read that over about you.
Now I say that the heir, as long as he is a child, differeth nothing from a servant.
Different nothing from a servant. So right now we got to serve, man. All right, that's our lot. We're gonna serve, and it's gonna be in multiple ways. All right.
Though he be Lord of all, but is under tutors and governors until the time appointed of the Father.
Right. So that's what we deal with, under tutors and governors. And that scripture is manifold, because of course, you know, the whole part of it would be back in ancient world, we was under the strict law, you know, but now we're able to walk in the spirit through Yahweh Shai. But even still, we're his children, man. Okay? We're servants. We serve one another. Right? We do services to one another, whether it's us teaching this word to each other, to the younger men, or whether it's doing shit for your brothers, man. All right? Being a scribe, being an arm bearer, whatever is needed, man. In a sense, man.
Because I was gonna say that's the mindset of Yahweh Shai, man. Matter of fact, if I can grab this real fast, this slip right to it. 1 Corinthians 2:16. It says, "For who have known the mind of the Lord that he may instruct him? For we have the mind of Yahweh Shai." And then we have in the mind of our Lord and Savior. What did he say? This is Matthew 20, and I'm gonna get straight to the point, verse 28. It says, "Even as the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister and to give his life a ransom for many," man. So in turn, that's what we doing, man. You know, the scripture says, "No man liveth unto himself." You know, so we here to do what? To minister, to serve, man, to serve the body. Because serving the body is serving Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai, man. You know, whatever aspect it may be that the Lord seems fit to be your lot, you know.
I got one for you real quick. What I mean?
Yeah, bro.
This is Lamentations 3:27. It is good for a man that he bear the yoke in his youth. Okay? he sitteth alone and keepeth silence because he hath borne it upon him. So hey man, you know, because hey, that's how you grow. That's how you grow in this truth, man, by serving great men, man.
I got that right here actually, and it's heavy because this is Rock 8 Nick. Yeah. It's Rock 8 Nick. Despise not the discourse of the wise, but acquaint thyself with their proverbs. For them thou shalt learn instruction and have to serve great men with ease. So you learn how to serve by being around these great men. But if these men that you're around are great and elders, how you gonna be around them? That means you're doing a service for them, man. All right, we was talking about this before we started, man. The brothers amongst us, that's how we started, man. When it was as far as like myself, all right, when it was just Elder Uriah, Elder Yaki, and Elder Nathaniah, man. All right, hey, when something was needed, hey, I was on it, man. The Elder Yaki, what he did, he was the camp chauffeur at first, man. He was, if a brother needed to get someone, he was the first one doing it. He was the only one with a whip. He had that van. All right, and what does that mean? You there, you breaking bread, you hearing these wise sayings. I'm able to hear the conversation, discourse with these elder brothers, man. Hearing how they handle certain things, because I was allowed to be around them. And what was my payment back? Or what made us say, like, you know, he's cool to be around us this moment. Me doing little services for him. Need some water, got you, need this, need that. All right. Well, do that, man. It's like, hey, brother Mathalia, all right? Hey, when he came around carrying the bags and he was being around brothers, man, whatever help was needed. So you can be there to hear every godly discourse, man. That's a huge word, man. Now you literally, hey, somebody grab that in Proverbs, man. Before honest, humility, man. All right, I'm going to read verse 9. Miss not the discourse of the elders, for they also learned of their fathers, and of them thou shalt learn understanding and to give answer as need requirement. So then you get built up through the Spirit, man. Then you learn how to teach the flock and serve in that way. You know? Anybody got that?
Proverbs 15 and 33. The fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility.
There you go. So before honor is humility, man. So you gotta, hey, Dan, you made a good announcement earlier, man. Because like Daniel's son, what he was doing, what he thought was just task and work for the sensei, all right, washing the car, wax on, wax off, but it was training him, man. So he received that instruction, right? He humbled himself, he dealt with it, he received the instruction. Then when it came time to deal with it, he got the honor from it. He can fight, he can block, he can do certain movements because he did that, man. All right, Lord, we're gonna get some examples of these things, man. All right, it's like Joshua.
Can I add to you real quick? Because in the way you know that because that analogy, in a way you know it helps you grow, is because hey man, we've been in this place, we've been taught to be unruly, man, for all this time, man. In this place called Babylon, man. You know, we've been taught to be unruly all this time. So in the beginning, certain little meager tasks like that won't make sense to you at first.
That's right.
It doesn't make sense to you and then later on, and then like you said, the wax on, and then later on, he saw that what he's doing, he was paying it was helping him out.
Like holding the signs on camp. Being the guy that's listening to what the teachers is going into and grabbing the signs that's agro pro for that situation. All right. You know what you end up learning? You learn how to follow the Spirit. You learn different precepts because you listen, you're hearing all these things. Because you're forced to be attentive, make sure you bring out the signs right. So then when the time comes, when you say you teaching or you in the Spirit, you're gonna sit down. Now you got certain key phrases that go through your mind through the Spirit. You can get more precepts. All right. Now you got certain foundations for topics. So all from just holding the sign, you think you're just holding the sign, getting the right signs this whole time. You learning precepts and getting understanding because you're making sure certain stuff match up. All right, right. Like, go ahead. Let's say you're gonna say about the camera.
Just like the cameraman, you gotta focus on the speaker and get everything the speaker is pointing out. And you just focus in and you observe everything they say.
You get a great lesson on being circumspect in the cameraman by listening and paying attention to what's going on. When it's time to move the camera to certain speakers, when it's time to get the action that's behind the cameraman, whatever, you know, when they point at something, you learn how to be circumspect in that level, man. All right. Different things. Hey, all the humility is to build you up, man. Like yeah, you made a great point. Because this world we taught to think you're somebody. To think no, man. So the first thing you gotta learn the truth is to become a child. Serve.
Yeah, that one for you. This is Joshua 1 and 1. It says, now after the death of Moses, the servant of Yahweh, it came to pass that Yahweh spake unto Joshua, the son of Nun, Moses' minister, which is mean what was his servant, saying, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now therefore arise, go over this Jordan, and thou and all this people unto the land, so I can, and all this people unto the land which I do give to them, even to the children of Israel. You know, so it said Joshua was a minister unto Moses, man. You know, so what Moses needed to be done, guess who went out and did it, man? You see, Joshua was his armor bearer, his scribe, man. You know, his right hand man. You know.
This is Exodus 24. Hey, shout out, you get Exodus 17. This is Exodus 24 and verse 12. And the Lord said unto Moses, come up to me in the room, and the law and commandments which I have written, that thou mayest teach them. And Moses rose up and his minister Joshua. And Moses went up into the mountain of the Most High. So by Joshua being the servant to Moses, he was able to come and be in the presence of the Heavenly Father and the angel. Heavenly Father angel. Okay? He was able to do this by being a minister to serve, man.
Mm-hmm.
So he can hear every godly discourse.
Hey, because when Moses was coming down from the mount, his servant, which was Joshua, said, "What, man? It's a sound of war." Moses said, "Nah, that ain't the sound of war." You know, but it shows you that Joshua was there with him, man, soaking all that up, man, serving. You know. Somebody got the Exodus 30. You got more than that?
No.
The Exodus 33.
Okay. Started 8. Started 8.
This is Exodus 33 and 8. And it came to pass when Moses went out into the tabernacle, that all the people rose up and stood every man at his tent door and walked after Moses. He was gone into the tabernacle.
Mm-hmm. Hey, because Moses, everybody looked to Moses. Man, Moses was the head. He was the leader. He was set over the congregation. You know. Go ahead.
Verse 5. And it came to pass as Moses entered into the tabernacle, the cloudy pillar descended and stood at the door of the tabernacle. The Lord talked with Moses.
Mm-hmm. Hey, so everybody was watching when that chariot came down, man. You know, they knew when Moses went in there, that chariot was gonna come. You know, go ahead.
And all the people saw the cloudy stick and the cloudy pillar stand at the tabernacle door, and all the people rose up and worshipped every man in the tent.
Yep.
Right, go ahead.
Yep. Well, cloudy pillar being that chariot that came down. You know. Go ahead, bro.
And the Lord spake unto Moses face to face, as a man speaks unto his friend, and he turned again into the camp.
So Moses, he left out of the tabernacle and went back to the camp. Go ahead.
It says,
Read the whole verse over.
and the Lord spake unto Moses face to face, and as a man speaks unto his friend, and he turned again into the camp. And his servant Joshua, the son of Nun, a young man, departed not out of the tabernacle.
Right. We'll let you know that wherever Moses went, Joshua was there. So Joshua was in the tabernacle when the chariot came. Joshua stayed behind when Moses went down to the congregation. So just starting off as that servant got Joshua great honor, man. Starting off as a scribe, a servant, an armor bearer, man. You get great honor off that, man. All right, you get the Exodus 17, start at 12.
Exodus 17, verse 12. But Moses' hands were heavy, and they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat thereon. And Aaron and Hur stayed up his hands, the one, the one on the one side, and the other on the other side. And his hands were steady unto the going down of the sun.
Right. So this is where we were warned against Amalek. And Moses had to hold his staff up. Whenever he held his hands up, and we would win. That's what was told to him. When he put him down, we would lose. So he held him up so long, we got tired, and he had to hold his arms up for him. All right? Keep going.
Verse 13, and Joshua discomfited
Fits it. Discomforted.
Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. And the Lord said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua, for I will utterly put out of the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven.
Right. So, hey, by Joshua being there to serve Moses, the Lord acknowledged him. And he even told him, look, you rehearse this to Joshua. All right? So he was getting understanding, man, by being his servant. Which ultimately, you got something?
Mm-hmm. This is Numbers 27 and 15. Yeah.
What I'm saying, ultimately leads up to, that's the spirit. There you go.
It's Numbers 27 and 15. And Moses spake unto Yahweh, saying, let Yahweh, the power of the spirits of all flesh, set a man over the congregation. So this is when the Lord told Moses that to look at the land, you know what I'm saying, he wasn't going to go over, you know. So Moses, like, you know, they set a man over the congregation, you know. It says, verse 17, which may go out before them, and which may go in before them, and which may lead them out, and which may bring them in, that the congregation of Yahweh be not as the sheep which have no shepherd. And Yahweh said unto Moses, who did the Lord pick, man? Take thee Joshua, the son of Nun, a man in whom is the spirit, and lay thy hand upon him, and set him before Eleazar the priest, and before all the congregation, and give him a charge in their sight. And thou shalt put some of thy honor upon him, that all the congregation of the children of Israel may be obedient.
He is to receive a portion of Moses' spirit. All right? To put some of his spirit on him, man, his honor.
Hey, that reminds me of the scripture when it talks about how, you know, Yahweh Shai, he was daily the Most High's delight. He said, I was as one who was brought up with him, and I was daily his delight. And that's trickled down to the men of the Lord now, you know. Now the men that are being obedient, being diligent, they're becoming daily the apostles' delight. You know, and we're being spoken, and those names are being spoken out of their mouths now. They're being made mention of now, you know.
Another one for you. This is Joshua 3 and 7. It says, and Yahweh said unto Joshua, this day will I begin to magnify thee in the sight of all Israel, that they may know that I was with Moses, so I will be with thee. You know? So they serving unto Moses, man. The Lord soaking up all that knowledge and information, the spirit ultimately, you know, being tutored, as it says, under tutors and governors.
Yeah.
You know,
Gotta be led, and you gotta be led, man.
Basically, the Lord knew he was grooming Joshua. That's why the spirit was on Joshua to be on the side of him, because the Lord was grooming him to be the next leader the whole time. You know,
got a discourse.
I got one.
No, that was it.
What version you got for that numbers?
20 on verse 20. You want to read now?
That's good, actually. No, yeah, read one more. Swap it. Bible track.
In verse 21, this is Numbers 27 and 21. And he shall stand before Eleazar the priest, who shall ask counsel for him after the judgment of Urim. Before Yahweh, at his word shall they go out, and at his word they shall come in, both he and all the children of Israel with him, even all the congregation.
He humbled down to do whatever was needed for him to be done for Moses, and the Lord gave him this great honor to rule over the congregation, man. When it was time to go pick the warriors out to fight against Amalek, hey, Moses sent Joshua to do it. When it was time to go spy out the land, he picked out some other men, but he also made sure he sent his faithful servant. He sent Joshua with him. All right, and that's the thing, man. Being learning to be a faithful servant to the men around you, so they can look at you and teach you and be over you with joy. So you can learn how to please great men. Hey, you want to be a faithful servant, not a nigga. Oh, I'll do this when he's around when he's safe. All right, with that eye service, but then you sneaking and doing other shit, or you taking certain leverage. You may, well, this may be okay. Well, it's this and that, and then they come around. If you think it's okay, then why you stop doing? They come around. Because you've been wicked.
I got one real
Hey,
quick.
yeah, shit. If you ain't done it, what's the point? You gotta be that faithful servant, man. That's in that filament. I know you would do what I say and even more.
Even more, yeah. By leaving.
That's why. Hey, not only did Joshua go spy out the land, when these other motherfuckers came back scoffing, Joshua said, "Fuck that." He stood up for him and Caleb. Yeah, man.
And that was very spiritual and symbolic. Because Joshua was Ephraim, Caleb was Judah, and they went to the promised land together. That was symbolic to what's about to happen. With the two sticks coming back together. That story is very simple. It's an allegory, whether you can receive it or not.
Well, hey, it's only for those who can receive it. Shit.
Yeah. I got one real quick. Hey, that's crazy, man. Because they a lot of man. I moved.
Yeah,
Hey, Proverbs 22 and 29. Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall not stand before kings. He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men. And yeah, man, if you gonna stand before kings, you're gonna be doing some work. You're gonna be mopping, you're gonna be sweeping, you're gonna be washing dishes, you're gonna be fixing plates, you're gonna be pouring cups, you're gonna be bearing cups, you're gonna be bearing armor. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be doing all those things. Why? But it's gonna build you up because it builds your character.
Yeah, I got one for you real quick. And this is Rock 39:3. He will seek out the secrets of great. I'm gonna start at 1. This is Rock 39:1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied, and Matt, you grab that. Now with eye service, that's a piece of God. This is the point. This first verse starts off saying, "But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High," it's talking about a man that's seeking after truth, a man that's in walking on this path. All right, and is occupied with the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies. He will keep the sayings of the renowned of men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also. He's going to be, like the plain says, occupying the scriptures, man.
Hey, can I add to you real quick? Because it says renowned men that are being spoken of. You know what I'm saying? And they're being spoken of, hey, by other great men, you know?
Right. They're going to be getting understanding. Where subtle parables are, he be there also.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get the understanding, trying to learn how to visualize the scriptures. But how do you first learn that, man? You got to be taught that. Somebody grab 1 Samuel. You got to be taught how to walk in the spirit, man. Because I remember reading something out multiple times. This will happen all the time. I'm fucking fresh and true. Now I go to Elder Ryder. What does this mean? You know, you got to visualize it. He act it out like the scriptures say. Now it says the prophets have spoken a similitude. Here it says you got to visualize and see pictures. And it says this. It's just what it relates to that. I'm like, damn, okay. He did that over and over, and I got to understand it, man. But I have to be taught that by men. All right? So you got to start from the fucking bottom. You got to start as a child, man, a servant. Yeah. You got the. You understand it? Yeah.
This is 1 Samuel 3:1. It says, "And the child Samuel ministered unto Yahweh before Eli."
He did what?
Ministered.
He ministered, which means to serve. The water.
It says, "And the child Samuel ministered unto Yahweh before Eli, and the word of Yahweh was precious in those days. There was no open vision." It says, "And it came to pass."
So people were just having dreams and was going to writing them and telling Israel what to do. All right, it was scarce. So hey, just like what time we in, man. So you definitely have to be taught the spirit. It wasn't just around. Go ahead.
And it came to pass at that time when Eli was laid down in his place, and his eyes began to wax dim, that he could not see, that and the lamp of Yahweh went out in the temple of Yahweh, where the ark of Yahweh was, and Samuel was laid down to sleep. And Yahweh called Samuel, and he answered, Here am I. And he ran unto Eli and said, Here am I, for thou callest me. And he said, I called not.
Right. So a first note, now this is nighttime. He got right up and came straight to him, see what he wanted, as like a faithful servant. Like, oh shit, even though it wasn't Eli calling him, all right, he thought it was, he got right to it. Go ahead.
He said, Lie down again, and he went and lay down. And Yahweh called yet again Samuel. And Samuel arose and went to Eli and said, Here am I, for thou didst call me. And he answered, I called not, my son, lie down again. Now Samuel did not yet know Yahweh.
Right, he even had understanding. It had been told to him what to do when the spirit came. He had been showed the way, like it says in Isaiah 30. That teachers should not be moved in the corner anymore. Thou shalt see thy teachers. And then you shall walk to the way, and you should hear know when to turn to the left, to the right. Then you learn how to walk in the spirit after you be taught it. You got to become a pupil first. You got to become a servant, man.
Hebrews 5 and 12. When you ought to be teachers, you have need of one teach you again, which is the first principles of the oracles of the Most High. You know.
Hey, so the first principles is you got to be taught.
That's right.
Hey, look, that's like
you got to be subject to somebody and be taught. So lucky.
no, it's that like I be training people and shit, right? You know, that's what I do sometimes. And I just tell them to do shit. Like it ain't got shit to do with working out. I just tell them to go get this and go get that, pick this up and shit. I just do it to see if they gonna do it. If they can't do it, they ain't gonna work out. They ain't gonna listen to what the fuck I'm saying. And they ain't gonna go. This is like when you watch an old karate movie, you see the dude cleaning up, they gotta clean up the dojo, they gotta do this. Shit ain't got shit to do with karate, but it's just a principle of discipline. So I tell people to do shit just to see if they gonna do it. Because you grow from that. Now I can teach you the skill. I tell people all the time, I can teach a motherfucker how to ride a bike, but you can't teach their ass how to get up. You can teach skill, but not work ethic.
Hey, Howard Shai said it best. You got to be faithful over little before you be faithful over much.
Right.
We giving you this word, we don't give it to you. That's our job. But if you're going to be around in the presence and getting all this deep knowledge, you got to show yourself that you're worthy. The scriptures say, prove a friend. The scriptures say, give these to teach these things to like men like you, faithful men. So you ain't gonna just give it to nobody. You gotta show you're gonna be a servant. You gotta go to the ring. You gotta show you're gonna hold the camera. You're gonna hold the sign. All right, you're gonna do certain kind of presence. Brad ain't gonna tell you not to do no bugged out shit. Hey, but like I use Yakin, man. He started off as a chauffeur for the brothers. Captain Lee got promoted. I haven't seen a brother like he got so much wisdom so quickly. By what he was giving brass to brothers and his own goodwill, man. He was down to do it, and because of that, he heard multiple conversations. All right, he heard every, like it said, Sirach 8 and 8, man. The sayings of the wise men, you know. There's more of that saying too. Bring it up.
This is Ephesians 6 and 5. Servants, be obedient to them that are your masters, according to the flesh, with fear and trembling, in singleness of your heart, as unto Yahweh Shai, man. So the work you're doing unto the elders and the brothers and the men around you, man, is as if you're serving. Hey, you are serving Yahweh Shai, man. It says, as unto Yahweh Shai, verse 6. Now with eye service, not with eye service as men pleasers, but as the servants of Yahweh Shai, doing the will of the Most High from the heart, man. So like the brother Benji said, man, hey, sincerely out of the goodwill of his heart, man. Wasn't being forced to do it, wasn't doing it grudgingly. You know what I'm saying? Did it willingly, man. You know?
I got one real quick if I may. This is 1 Timothy 6 and 1. Let as many servants as are under the yoke count their own masters worthy of all honor, that the name of Yahweh and his doctrine be not blasphemed.
Right.
Okay. This is Matthew chapter 18, I'm sorry, 1. At the same time came the disciples unto Yahushua, saying, Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Yahushua called a little child unto him, and sat him in the midst of them, and said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted, and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven.
And the scripture say, humble thyself greatly. It said, humble thyself, and then it says greatly. So it's not just a regular humble. You got to humble yourself. Hey, you got to be like that. It says it's easier for a rich man. It says called the camel. You know, yeah. Basically, you gotta lower yourself, man. That camel is a stubborn ass animal, man.
The scripture said the best way, humble yourself as a child. What's more humble for a grown ass man? A lot of chicks call out, I'm a grown ass man.
Yeah.
So what's more humble for a grown ass man to sit there? You know, I gotta child myself. I gotta bear this burden, man.
That's a wicked proverb.
Yeah.
With a child, what do you do? Hey,
whatever you told
you guide them. You guide them. Hey, give me this. Hey, give me that. Hey, take this over there. Take this over there. And the child will do it. You know, they obey.
Man, we'll get back to the stories too. Go ahead, maybe count. Go ahead.
This is Rock chapter 11, verse 1. It says, Wisdom lifts up the head of him that is up below the grief, and maketh him to sit among great men.
Damn.
It says, Commend not a man for his beauty, not that poor man for his outward appearance.
It says, wisdom lift up the head. Read that first verse right over.
It's Wisdom Solomon 11:1. It says, Wisdom lifts up the head of him that is up below the grief.
Of a low degree, man, a humble man, a servant, a low degree. And that's what kingdom of heaven is all about. It says that the bottom shall be at the top, the top should be at the bottom. All right, Esau lord over. Hey, that's what the heathens they lord over, man. We're to be as servants to each other anyway. Go ahead, this one.
It says, and making him to sit among great men.
There you go. Make them to sit among great men. So you go from being servant to sitting among these great men. And you, of course, you're still serving because hey, we got to serve, we got to teach, we got to do this. All right, but the way of serving is different, man. The way of serving is different. We need to hit these accounts and get to the flip side of the serving too. You know, because it ain't just lording over. It ain't just lording over brothers, man. It ain't about that either.
Right. It says, the bee is little among such as fly, but a fruit is the chief of sweet things. Boast not thy clothing in raiment, exalt not thyself in the day of honor. For the works of the Lord are wonderful, and his works among men are new. Yeah, man. Like brother said, man, like the more you base yourself, put yourself under, like the brother said, we all did it, man. We all did it. Even your house shot did it. And that's how you gain wisdom, man. That's how you gain faith.
Yeah. Hey, you do it. Hey, there's Jake out there doing it in Esau's military, man. Scrubbing floors with the fucking toothbrush.
Shaving your beard.
Shaving, right.
That's humiliating, man.
That is
doing all types of shit, man.
Oh,
how much more for righteous men, man?
Man, hey, don't put shit on you.
Right. They do all types of fucking butter out there.
Shit. They got a knife in how you bite off the damn chicken head.
Or a fucking cobra head.
Go ahead, can I see that precept?
Acts chapter 8, verse I'm gonna start at 29. It said, Then the Spirit said unto Philip, Go near and join thyself to this chariot. And Philip ran thither to him and heard him read the prophet Isaiah and said, Understandest thou what thou readest? And he said, How can I, except some man should guide me? And he desired Philip that he would come up and sit with him. So the thing is that you need somebody to guide you in this trip, you know, through the Spirit, Yahweh should in the chapter. And then also when you take the scripture when it comes to the fire on the fire on the left.
Fire on the one side,
fire on one side, one side, and it's so narrow that only one man can go through at a time. You know what I'm saying? You follow, you know what I'm saying? That person that's the name, that's the order too. And
and we need somebody to guide us, you know, somebody to teach us.
We go back to that.
Back to First Samuel 3, verse 7. It says, "Now Samuel did not yet know Yahweh, neither was the word of Yahweh yet revealed unto him. And Yahweh called Samuel again the third time, and he arose and went to Eli and said, Here am I, for thou didst call me. And Eli perceived that Yahweh had called the child."
So you have to understand it. He was experienced. You got to remember, it was started off as the minister, so he was serving. That's why he was given over to the temple to even serve the priest's deeds, man. But by him being there doing that, the Lord put the spirit on him.
Because how do you serve the Lord? Is he worship with men's hands?
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Psalms 50 said, if I was hungry, would I tell thee? How can you serve the Lord, man? The people obeyed Moses. The people obeyed Joshua. The people obeyed King David, man.
That's right.
It was always in order, man.
Obedience is better than sacrifice.
Verse 9. Therefore Eli said unto Samuel, Go, lie down, and it shall be, if he call thee, that thou shalt say, Speak, Yahweh, for thy servant heareth. So Samuel went and lay down in his place. And Yahweh came and stood and called as at other times, Samuel, Samuel. Then Samuel answered, Speak, for thy servant heareth.
Yeah. And that's cold, man. Because that fourth time he answered back, man. You know, and we know 4 means mercy, man. You know, that's heavy, man. Go ahead, bro. What?
There you go. He learned. Began to understand and walk with the Spirit, man. The Spirit was revealed to him at that moment after he was told by Eli, man. Because Eli perceived it was the Lord. So back in Sirach 39 and 2, he will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he'll be there also. He will seek out the secrets of grave sentences and be conversant in dark parables. He shall serve among great men and appear before princes. He will travel through strange countries. He have tried the good and the evil among men. Hey, just like Paul was sending out his servant, man, to go to different cities to check on the churches, because he was learning the Paul. He was there. He was his servant. He was, so he understood how Paul would handle things, man. You got to claim to the Spirit by being around Paul's counsel. Okay, it's the same thing right here. He shall serve among great men. You start as that servant, and the Lord lift your head up to that low degree. All right. He will. I'll keep going. He will give his heart to resort early to the Lord that made him, and will pray before the Most High, and will open his mouth in prayer and make supplications for his sins. When the great Lord will, he shall be filled with the spirit of understanding. So after having being a faithful servant, one to serve you how about showing you how to shine. All right, naturally serving among great men. Okay, hearing these wise sayings, these getting wise counsel. All right, learning how to operate in the spirit. Okay, and having prayer. It says, when the great Lord will, he shall be filled with the spirit of understanding. The Lord will elevate you. And we read in Joshua. That's like we read about Joshua. That's literally what happened. All right, he was there. Whatever Moses, when he was there, whatever Moses needed, he took care of it. He stayed faithful. And then what happened? It came time when they said, put somebody over the congregation of Israel. Who did they choose? Moses' servant. So he went from servant to leader, which still he had to serve the people, but he went from servant to leader, man. I'm going to finish this verse off. He shall pour out wise sentences and give thanks unto Yahweh in his prayer. And let me read the next verse. He shall direct his counsel and knowledge, and his secret shall he meditate. So then you get the counsel, man. You get the understanding spirit, the counsel from on high. All right. Now we still got men, but we still keep order. It's like you just You know, you get some understanding. That's the hill with order. No, you remain a faithful servant, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, because that goes to So you got the 2 Kings 9 start at 1. You got some, right? Somebody?
Yeah.
Let's get
This
to
is
Elijah.
Sirach 18 and 29. They that were of understanding in sayings became also wise themselves and poured forth exquisite parables. Man. How did you get understanding? Sirach 8 and 8. You read it earlier. You know, reading on down verse 9. You know, this is Jeremiah 45 and 1. The word that Jeremiah the prophet spake unto Baruch, the son of Neriah, when he had written these words in a book at the mouth of Jeremiah in the 4th year of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, saying, you know, so that's letting you know that Baruch was a scribe unto Jeremiah, man. And the book of Baruch, man, hey, that's a heavy book, man. You know, you see how the spirit was working on him, hey, just being a scribe unto Jeremiah. You know,
I got a precept for you.
Mm-hmm.
This is Sirach 10 in verse 4. The verse 5, Shalaki. Let me start at 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. In the hand of the Most High is the prosperity of man. All right, so the Lord lifts you up. Okay, and he already told you the rules of it. Before honor comes humility. All right, because you get some damn honor, you'll be puffed up about it. You'll be disorderly. You wouldn't be capable to fulfill your office because you didn't get the experience from the other men. Shalaki. And upon the person of the scribe shall he lay his honor. All right, so being the scribe, man, being that servant, man. Hey, a scribe is just a listener, man. A listener, and all he do is listen and write what you say. Yeah. That's one hell of a servant, man. He just listen and write what the hell you say.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like Nehemiah and Ezra? Was that Nehemiah and Ezra? One of the scribe?
Nehemiah and Ezra?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I haven't looked into it.
I gotta put these up on here. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 and 10. Ye are witnesses, and Yahweh also, how holily and justly and unblameably we have behaved ourselves among you that believe, as ye know how we exhorted and comforted and charged every one of you as a father doth his children, that ye would walk worthy of Yahweh, who have called you unto his kingdom and glory. So in order to be glorified later on, man, and to be exalted in that due time, you got to be that child, man. You know, and you got a lot of different children. You got the unruly kid that's tearing up shit, and you got the one that's in the corner like, you finna get in trouble. He looking at you, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell, and you get in trouble, you know. So hey, man, you know,
That's that faithful servant.
right.
You get that 2 Kings 9? Start at 1.
This is 2 Kings 9 and 1. And Elisha the prophet called one of the children of the prophets.
Salaki, God damn it, Salaki. 2 Kings 2 and 1. The point to the actual thing was it was a whole work that set up. This precious piece of shit. 2 Kings 2 and 1.
This is 2 Kings 2 and 1. And it came to pass that the Lord will take up Elijah into heaven by a whirlwind. And Elijah went with Elisha from Gilgal. And Elijah said unto Elisha, tarry here, I pray thee, for the Lord hath sent me. And Bethlehem, and Elisha said unto him, as the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. So they went down to Bethlehem.
God. Hey, so Elisha said he wouldn't leave his master, man. He said, hey, well, you once where I'm going, you may need something, shit. I may need some damn experience. Look, if you're going, I'm going to be right there. Just like Joshua never left the sides of Moses. Keep going.
And the sons of the prophets that were at Bethel came forth to Elisha and said unto him, knowest thou that the Lord will take away thy master from the head
Thy did.
today?
Right. So he said he was his master. And that was not his head. He was his guy. Elisha took on the position of being a servant to Elijah, man. All right. He honored it. He wanted to be where he went. Like, shit, where you going? I'm going. So he didn't do it with grief. Like he says, the Lord likes a cheerful giver, man. Not a fucking man pleaser, man.
Be not weary and well doing. Man, I'm tired of this shit, man. They always the whole ass nigga shit, man. Hey, you saying you saying you better than your Howard Shot in. See, that's what motherfuckers don't realize. These motherfuckers are saying that they're better than your Howard Shot, man. They saying that they greater than their Lord, man. When you refuse to be a servant, or it's too much for you, man.
And who is a servant that don't get corrected?
Mm-hmm.
And look at how the disciples, as they walked with Yahweh Shai, he stayed getting on them, man.
Charging.
Yeah.
And a lot of niggas couldn't bear that, man.
Yeah.
A lot of them fucking talking to me like that.
I'm a grown ass man.
You know?
I'm a grown. I'm getting tired. This always happens. I'm always getting got on. It's gonna get got on, man. You in the fucking flesh.
And when the Roman centurion showed up, they turned to kids.
Right.
You know, the same thing as now. Niggas talk all that shit. Hey, when the Romans pull up, man, hey man, you bitch up, man.
5-0.
You know?
5-0.
Damn. Hey, read verse 3, the whole verse.
Proverbs 3. The sons of the prophets that were at Bethel came forth to Elisha and said unto him, knowest thou that the Lord will take away thy master from thy head today? And he said, yeah, I know it. Hold ye your peace. And Elijah said unto him, Elijah, tarry here, I pray thee, for the Lord hath sent me to Jericho. And he said, as the Lord liveth, and as the soul liveth, I will not leave thee. So that they came to Jericho.
He tried to leave him again, but Elisha really, especially at this moment, he's been taken away. He knows it. He really don't want to leave his side. Let you know how much love he had for him. All right. So he didn't scoff at the position of being servant to Elijah. Keep going.
Come, verse 5. And the sons of the prophets that were at Jericho came to Elijah and said unto him, knowest thou that the Lord will take away thy master from thy head today?
Right. So they again, another set of prophets said the same thing. Thy master. Yeah.
He answered, yeah, I know it. Hold ye your peace. And Elijah said unto him, tarry, I pray thee here, for the Lord hath sent me to Jordan. And he said, as the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee, and they to went home. And 50 men of the sons of the prophets went and stood to view afar off, and they stood by Jordan. And Elijah took his mantle and wrapped it together and smote the waters, and they were divided hither and thither, so that they two went over on dry ground. And it came to pass when was gone over that Elijah and said unto Elisha, ask what I shall do for thee before I be taken away from thee.
So a blessing, what blessing do you want basically? As a father would do a son. So, because hey, this is a spiritual father. Keep going. Yeah, it's gonna say it in the same chapter. Keep going.
And Elisha said, I pray
The Holy Spirit is what? Spirit understanding. He's like, look, let me get the double portion of your spirit. More wisdom, man. He ain't asked for all the money. He want to be holy, man. Go ahead. That's the bottom line, man. You humble yourself down, all right, to get true honor, man. All right, to get, like it says in Ecclesiastes 7, I believe it's still 7, about a good name. Okay? That's true honor. How do you get a good name? By faith and keeping his works. It tells you that it's a rock. So I keep going.
Verse 10. He said, Thou hast asked a hard thing. Nevertheless, if thou see me when I am taken from thee, it shall be so unto thee. But if not, it shall not be so. And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot, fire, and horses, fire, and parted them both asunder, and Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. And Elijah saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel, and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more, and he took hold of his own clothes and rent them into two pieces. He took up also the mantle of Elijah that fell from him, and went back and stood by the bank of Jordan.
So he got the double portion. He said, you see the mantle fall. So he saw, he picked it up, keep going.
It says, and when the son of the prophets, which were too few at Jericho, saw him, and they said, the spirit of Elijah doeth rest on the Elisha. And they came to meet him, and bowed themselves to the ground before him. And they said unto him, Behold now.
These men came and bowed down.
Right.
And they said unto him, Behold now, there be with thy servants 50 strong men, let them go we haste. Peradventure, the Spirit of the Lord hath taken him up and cast him upon some mountain or into some valley, and he said, He shall not sin.
Right. So basically, they came to him and said, "Man, hey, let us send some men to go look for him, because maybe the Lord put him in a valley or a mountain or somewhere, man." You know. And Elisha was like, "Nah, man, don't go." You know, because he knew where he went, man. You know, but keep reading, because I had continued to read down, and it shows you the spirit that was on Elijah, though. You know. Go ahead, bro.
It says, and when they urged him till he was ashamed, he said, Sin. They sent therefore 50 men, and they sought 3 days, but found him not.
Mm-hmm.
And when they came again to him, for he tarried at Jericho, he said to them, Did I not say unto you, go not?
Right. Like when I told you niggas he wasn't there, man. You know, because they kept urging him and urging him. He like, man, look, you know what? Go ahead. You know?
Yeah.
Now that's another thing, man. Whatever the spirit put on your leader to do, whatever it is, you know, you move how you move, man.
Come.
Whether you understand it or not.
Come.
Whether you get it or not.
Because Elisha's servant ended up not listening to him about the money situation.
What was his name? Gehazi?
Yeah.
I was thinking about that with a dude called leprosy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that for a minute. Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
But I'm holding this Matthew real fast. This is Matthew 20, and I started at 20. It says, Then came to him the mother of Zebedee's children with her sons, worshiping him and desiring a certain thing of him. And he said unto her, What wilt thou? She said unto him, Grant that these my 2 sons may sit, the one on thy right hand and the other on the left in thy kingdom. But Yahushua answered and said, ye know not what ye ask. Are ye able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of, and to be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with? They say unto him, We are able. And he said unto them, Ye shall drink indeed of my cup, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with. But to sit on my right hand and on my left is not mine to give, but it shall be given to them for whom it is prepared of my Father. You know, it says, and when the 10 heard it, they were moved with indignation against the two brethren. They, they was asking, it's pretty much go back to Matthew 18, the brother read earlier, man. When the disciples came to Yahushua asking who was the greatest, it says, verse 25, but Yahushua called them unto him and said, Ye know that the princes of the Gentiles exercise dominion over them, and they that are great exercise authority upon them. But it shall not be so among you. But whosoever will be great among you, let him be your minister, man. So just like how Joshua and Baruch and Elijah, and those examples, of the of serving those men were eventually put in leadership position, man. And when they was put in that leadership position, now they got that understanding, they got the spirit on them to what? Be as humble as the person was that they served, man. You see? To be not like the heathens, because the heathens exercise lordship over each other, right? This is verse 27. It says, and whosoever will be chief among you, let him be your servant, even as the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister and to give his life a ransom for many. To go back to the same scripture we read earlier, man.
All right. Well, that's the title. So we all doing services. Man.
That's right.
All right. Because ain't none of us, Yahushua, anyway. And that's the point of it. We all humble it down any fucking way. You got the John 13? Okay, St. John 13, start at verse you have something else next?
Yeah, why you grabbing that? This is Sirach 3 and 18. The greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find a favor before the Lord, man. So when the Lord do exalt you to whatever position, man, hey, that should humble you down even more. It says what we read it earlier in the day of honor, exalt not thyself.
It say, humble yourself under the mighty hand of Yahweh, that he may exalt you in due time.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
They go hand in hand.
Yep.
Sure.
Yep. All right, another one real fast. It's Philippians 2 and 3. It says, let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves, man. And that should be the mindset. Like, hey, these brothers around me, shit, man, is motherfucking ankles, knees, heads, and shoulders above me, man.
You need all that. You need the fingers. You need all that. You need your pinky. What do you call it? The little pinky toe.
I said that before you came. I said that in class.
Because it balances you out. I got one real quick, my man.
Sure, God.
1 Peter 5 and 6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty.
5, brother.
Okay, this is 1 Peter 5 and 5. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourself unto the elders.
Matter of fact, start at the top. And then it goes into what we're talking about.
1 Peter 5 and 1. The elders which are among you I exhort, who am also an elder and a witness of the suffering of Hamashiach, and also the partaker of the glory that shall be revealed. Feed the flock of Yahweh which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind.
Right. So the Lord is talking to who, man? Well, Peter through Yahweh in the Holy Spirit is talking to the elders, the brothers that's in leadership positions, man. To feed the flock of the Most High, not by constraint, but willingly. Not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind, man. Because he said the Son of Man came not to minister, to be ministered unto, but to minister. So that's our job. That's the example he set. When he watched the disciples speak, he said, what? I did this.
That's what we got.
Oh.
John 13, starting at verse 12.
Come. This is St. John 13:12. So after he had washed their feet and had taken his garments and was set down again. He said unto them, Know ye what I have done to you? Ye call to me Master and Lord, and ye say well. But
So he is their master. He did just do service to them, but he is their master, right? Go ahead.
it says, If I then, your Lord and Master, have washed their feet, ye also ought to wash one another's feet.
So we serving one another, man. That's the bottom line. Now, of course, a child is more of a servant, and I'm saying that when you first get up, when you first wake up, you know. But we all serving each other, man. And not only that, the brothers labor, man. Like the elders above us, man, they labor to make sure we on point, to give them the scriptures, so they really doing more work than what anything we can do for them, man. And that trickles on down, man. The amount of videos, because now, you know, I'm nowhere near on that level, but you can see, like, peek in with the certain shit they have to deal with, like, the lessons they think about, the example they think about, just always thinking about the scriptures and the spirit they go through for our sakes. That's heavy, man. Making sure on your point, putting the piece together when you have like a camp meetings and stuff, man. The sit downs, the phone calls, the councils, and a lot of stuff they deal with. And shit. All right. I ain't done. Shit.
You know, this the camp we got. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
It's
so
like
all the way up.
so yeah.
I didn't even go up there. I definitely have no idea. I don't imagine that. Just the videos they do for us, man.
Yeah.
All the research and labor, the thinking upon thinking through the spirit, man, to put the videos out for us. That alone is more than anything we can do. Right.
And they twice our age, man.
That's more than anything we can do or even give them, man.
Shit, I'm tired as hell. Shit, I know they tired. I'm tired right now. Shit. They probably putting up the video.
Yeah.
Probably live. Probably researching, bro.
That's right. Or watching the news, getting ready to do a you know what I'm saying, update, you know.
No.
Man.
I got a little something. Oh yeah, you still got Oh,
Verse 15. And I have given you an example that ye should do as I have done to you. Verily, verily, I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord, neither that is sent greater than he that sent him.
There you go. So it's all that we all humble down the Yahushua. That's the point. So we all doing services to each other, man.
I got one.
Read one more, Salaki. Not the Zaki, but read one more verse.
Verse 17. If ye know now these things, if ye know these things, happy are ye if ye do them.
There you go. So knowing this is a blessing, man. So knowing that we in this thing to serve is a happy thing, man. And doing it. Doing the videos, dealing with each other, different stuff, man. Then, some brothers be actual armor bearers, man. Remember them heavy ass bag we used to have with all the books in it to carry, man?
Yeah, I know.
Bro, that was an honor, man. Carrying that motherfucker doing that shit. He want to train with it, man. Carrying the signs. He used to want to do it. Like, yeah, I got this shit.
That's how Pat Lee was.
And that's how a lot of brothers was, man. It still is, man. And that's how you gotta be.
I got one real
quick. You can get fame off being armor bearer, man. Damn. Fuck.
Jonathan,
but that's what I was doing. Jonathan armor bearer. They got the honor to slay the king. I mean, the army, slucky. Army of the Philistines, man. The Lord let them get the honor. He gave that battle over to their hands. Just them two. Jonathan and
name comes up like a buddy that slid under the elephant, man.
Right.
That is a smash. Yep. This Philippians 4:3. And I entreat thee also, true yoke fellow, help those women which labored with me in the gospel, with Clement also, and with other my fellow laborers whose names are in the book of life. Hey man, so you got to take that yoke upon you, man. What Yahushua said, my burden is easy and my yoke is light, man.
My yoke is easy and my burden.
Yeah, well, you know. But yeah, man, you got to take that yoke upon you, man. You know, and it says take it upon you in your youth, man. It's good for you to take it upon you early, man. Because man, you don't want your elders to constantly have to tell you something, tell you to do something. They read the scripture earlier. It says that you would do more than I asked.
The other part, he's like, y'all forget we was young men. So the same things that they tell us to do, they was receiving these same orders, man.
Hey, they tell you about the shit they went through when they was coming up back in the West, the tables and all type of stuff. But they dealt with it.
Yep.
You get experience with it. The point is you got a better burden, man. Hey, as the Rock said, you're gonna be sent to, you're gonna serve among great men, be sent to and fro, see the good and the evil. You're gonna see that, man.
Speak back in 1 Peter 5, and I'm gonna read 2 again. Keep the flock of the Most High, which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. Neither as being lords over the Most High's heritage, but being examples to the flock.
So not just lording over the brothers, man. All right, you be an example. We still have to serve too. All right, we still got men above us, and also got the actual flock to feed, man. To do a service unto. All right, not lord over us getting a wicked gain. Just fucking being overbearing, man.
Right.
Fucking tyrant, man.
Because it's instruction.
Yeah.
The brothers is learning. So if they see you being a tyrant ruling over brothers, what they gonna do, man? They gonna do the same thing on the brothers that's beneath them. No, man. We work in humility, So
they gotta see that balance.
Yep. We follow the example that was set before us, man.
Go about your business and meekness.
The scripture says, "Mark the perfect man," because the end of that man is life. Roughly paraphrasing,
Right, this is the way walk ye in it.
This is verse 4. And when the chief shepherd shall appear, the chief shepherd being who? Yahushua, man. It says, "Ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility, for the Most High resisteth the proud, and giveth grace to the humble. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, that he may exalt you in due time." Hey, because at the end of the day, we all getting that same thing, man. That's what we all working for. So we all hoping for, And like Yahushua said, man, what he told what was that? John and what was his brother name?
James.
John and James, the water brothers. He told John and James, "Look, man, it ain't my decision for you to sit here and there. The Father who set up the order, the Yahweh set up the order, man."
It shows y'all the Lord and the Father who one and the same.
That's right.
Hey, it reminded me of that movie Shawshank Redemption, man. That motherfucker Andy Dufresne, man. He was being a servant, in the prison system, and eventually he had to crawl through a whole pipe full of shit. It was like 5 football fields worth of just shit. But he came out the other side, and then you see that scene when he get rained on and shit, he got washed and got clean, and then he came out on the other side squeaky, man. But that's what it is. We got to go through shit right now, go through the mire, and you got to take that yoke upon you, man.
Yeah, being a servant ain't got nothing to do with shit.
Oh yeah. I'm not saying shit, but you go through shit.
That's what somebody received it. The spirit, I would imagine, but I didn't get it, so I had to put out there for whoever did it.
Good.
So
Anybody got anything?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, shit. Klaus, you got something?
The one you asked for Hebrews 13.
There you got it.
Hebrews 13:17. Obey them that have rule over you, and submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls,
Damn.
as they that must give account, that they may do it with joy and not with grief, for that is unprofitable for you.
So what good is to somebody rule over you if you're not being a pleasing servant? What good is that for you? It's not gonna be, man.
correct. Because pleasing that man is pleasing Yahweh by Yahweh shine, man. That's how it works.
The men of the Lord is set up for us. And we're not doing, a good job in their eyes, so they can want us to be under them, because we're under their tutelage. So we gotta get the love of the congregation. They gotta want us under their tutelage, man. So what pleasure is that in them, man? What pleasure is that for us if we not doing what's right in their eyes, man? We're not pleasing them. We're not doing a good enough service unto them. As it said, they must give account to the Heavenly Father. So they got to keep their circle. They look over the flock. So look, if you're not being right with the flock, get your ass out. Like Paul said it. You disorderly, and you this, you that. You cast them from you, man.
Oh, that's out the way, man.
So if you're not pleasing them, man, that's what they're gonna do, man.
What's that scripture that says, the dishonor of your father is no,
So Ross, the third chapter.
it said it's no profit to you, basically. Hey, to dishonor your father is no profit, man. It's not profitable, man.
Yeah.
Because basically you gotta, that's what comes with prudence, man. Being prudent is being able to discern what's profitable. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the brother brought out earlier about how you train people, you know what I'm saying? If you trying to, he'd say he'll tell people to do little things just to see if they'll do it. Because hey, if they're wise, they'll say, okay, me obeying is profitable. You know?
And doing it cheerful, man.
Yeah.
Shit.
You know?
Doing it cheerful, man. You separate yourself from motherfuckers. They got a certain spirit on them. They don't want to be in the order. They don't want to do what the examples that's been set before them. And fucking listening, being obedient. You separate yourself from that motherfucker. That's how it always happens.
Yeah.
Start rubbing the brothers wrong and shit. Hey, then something ended up happening, man. That's a fearful thing, man.
And it says,
faithful servant, man.
yeah, it
Bible
says,
how about you outside? Bless us to be faithful servants.
that's right. It says to the gentle and to the poor. You know, because you got different spirits. You got the elders and the leaders. They got different spirits, man. You got some that are very nice, very gentle, very soft. You got some that'll cuss your ass out, man. You know, you got some that'll give you shit all the time. Or something, but really, the brother that'll give you that shit all the time, sometimes that's the one you want to be around the most. Because some brothers need that, man. Hey, that's what I felt when I first came in. You know, I need to be around the brother that's not gonna pull no punches, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, your ass is crying all the time.
I'm still crying.
I'm crying. Shit, I'm gonna cry when I get the car. I'm like, hey.
He gonna cry when he get the car.
Hey, the spirit, hey, you got this trust in the spirit. That's what it boils down to. You got to trust in the spirit, man. If you trust in the spirit, then you trust the spirit got the man over you that's supposed to be. Hey, you getting got on like that, man, that's unique in the spirit. Some brothers, I know it's through the spirit, man. Because you see it, certain brothers do this, and then they go through that. They get kicked out and get a harsh judgment. Other brothers do it. They may not be so harsh. I'm talking about something, whatever it may be. But then that brother that didn't get the same judgment actually turned up to be in the spirit. That was just a fucking mistake. Another nigga just falls to the wayside. So it's all through the spirit, man. If you're getting God on life, you get mercy. The Lord does it, man. Your job is whatever said before you, just deal with it, man. Do the work. Be a good servant, man. All right, the men of the Lord ain't overbearing at all, man. The men of the Lord deal with fucking wisdom, man. Very merciful. All right. Just, hey, guess what? Job got fucked up so much he asked the Lord when he let him spit. And the Lord is very merciful. So you getting down on lots to build your ass up, man. Is it? Precept. All right, kind of. So with that, all praises out of glory too.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakabadash.
Double honors to the apostles, and salutations you brothers doing this thing in sincerity and truth and with charity. Shalom.
Shalom.
Bob.
Shalom.